All right, welcome to my page. I want to be very honest. There is absolutely no coincidence that you are seeing this video. You see, I don't even have that many subscribers yet. In my mind, we already have 100K, but the algorithm hasn't quite caught up to that yet. But if you're seeing this video, I want to be clear. I was just given a clear message that I'm going to be able to change your life if you're able to hold your attention on this whole thing. You see, again, there's no coincidences. There's thousands of other videos. In fact, you already clicked on this video, and the resistance or the urge to want to click off to whatever other thumbnails are around, or to listen to whatever, or to respond to that DM, I need you to suspend all of that, because within this very short video, I'm going to give you the tools and the building blocks that you need in order to radically change your life. And I can say that confidently because not only have I done it with the same thing, I've helped all my other clients inside my program, True Diamond Mindset, do it. And not only that, but these concepts that we're talking about today don't even come from us today. They come from 1933, probably even farther than that in the Bible, the concepts and the law of the universe, which is whatever you believe to be true about your current reality, you will have. Now, maybe you've heard this before. Maybe you've tried to manifest or tried to learn about the law of attraction. You've tried other books or techniques. Maybe you tried the 369 method. Maybe you bought that little shadow working journal off a TikTok shop that was going around viral. Maybe you've binge watched, different videos on YouTube just like this one, or you read Russ's book, or you listened to Russ's music and he taught you about it, or Conor McGregor, whatever the case is that led you to this moment right here where you're coming across this video. I want you to understand you have never once been behind, like without or off track of your overall purpose in life. And the reason I can say that is if you really monitor everything you have now, even if it doesn't feel the best, even if it doesn't feel, because you have new goals, because you have a new perspective and you actually have it, doesn't feel good in the moment. If you really monitor you 5 or 10 years ago, the life you live currently is most likely the one that person wanted to live, because maybe they didn't have all the information. I'll give you a perfect example. I was just talking with my client, Han. He's a barber, and we were talking about how probably the 15-year-old version of him, when he was just learning how to cut hair and he was just getting this ideas, he probably said something along the lines of, yo, bro, if I could just make a couple 3 to 4 grand a month, my bills, I'd get me a little spot for like 1,000, and then I'd be set. And then make a couple extra 100, I'd have all this money left over. How many of us watching this video have done the same thing? We mistakenly set a goal based on our current lack. So we set the goal based on what would save us right now. And then once we achieve that thing, we do one of two things. One, we are never grateful for having achieved the thing that we asked for in the first place. This can happen for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it happens because the thing you asked for actually wasn't good for you. And once you got it, you found that out. And when you found that out, one of my favorite quotes from Neville Goddard is, men often forget the seeds that they plant and then deny the harvest. And so oftentimes when we say we wanted to get something, we end up getting it, and it turns out to be not as good or not as fulfilling as we thought it was. Then we start to look and say, well, hey, who brought this here? I surely didn't ask for this. I asked for XYZ. I wanted this to make me feel Y. And right there's the problem. The other thing that we could do is we totally just keep moving through our life and never notice that we got the thing we wanted. And why does this happen? Because we want something else. And so we don't ever take time to be grateful for all that we have achieved. And I don't know how many times you guys need to see it. If you're watching this video, I can almost guarantee this isn't the first manifesting, law of attraction, positive thinking video that you've spent the time to watch. This cannot be. If it is, congratulations. I'm going to cut your time in half. But if it isn't, you need to understand something. Until you master being grateful for things that aren't quite visible by your eyeballs, you will never, and I mean never, be free of suffering. Because the truth is, suffering comes from the feeling of lack, and the feeling of lack comes from a lack of gratitude. You cannot be feeling grateful and upset or anxious at the same time. It's impossible. Two masters can't be served at the same time. You cannot go and move through your life or business or channel or whatever and be in a state of gratitude and then also be worried about vanity metrics like followers, or worried about having those business sales come through, or worried about losing that weight, or worried about attracting that person. right? The presence of worry is the lack of gratitude. Now, I wanted you guys to move on to the second phase, right? So now we know, okay, we have to be grateful. And then the other question people ask themselves is, okay, well, can I sit around and just be grateful and things will change for me? The short answer is yes. The hard answer is actually doing that, right? It's very simple to say, hey, I want you to stay grateful for the things that you have not yet achieved. And maybe during the duration of this video, or while you're around your friends, or while you're hyped up and in a good mood, that's very easy to do, especially when things are going correct. But let me ask you, when things are going the wrong way, or when you've already achieved things and you found out they weren't what you wanted, or when you forget that you have the things that you wanted and now you have new things that you want and you don't have those, so it feels like a lack, or when the back's up against the wall, when the situations of life are raining down on you, what is the only way to get into a gratitude state? And it's a very simple one-liner question, and I'm going to give it to you now so you can take this and apply it right now from this video, from the rest of your life. If you can continuously ask yourself this question and practice the skill consistently of monitoring your thoughts and guiding the ship of your life, then you will be changed from ever to this day, right? Ask yourself, if I already had achieved my dream lifestyle, if I already had everything that I wanted, and if I already blank, you can fill in whatever you want after that, how would I feel right now? And if you're saying, okay, that's great and all, like, of course I would feel good if I had a bunch of money. I want to ask you, if you believe that there's a future version of yourself that after you have applied these concepts and have applied the knowledge and your skill base to the world, that does have everything you want, right? There is a future version of you that does have the things you want. And if that future version is you, then that means you have everything you want. And it doesn't really matter what's in front of us. And it doesn't really matter how many results we have. And it doesn't really matter what the truth or what our past says, right? Like if you've been a chronic failure, if you've consistently gone up, gotten inspired, taken some action, felt good, and then the self-sabotage kicks in and you go back down to the lower frequencies and you go back to the old habits and you go back to the old way of thinking. And then you kind of stop taking the actions that got you the result. And then you don't get the result. You start feeling bad about yourself. This is perpetuating the belief that you don't think you've already made it. Why? Because if you had already made it, why would you take your foot off the gas? If you already had all the money you want, why would you be stressed out about getting things done in a specific way? Because it's this control and this specificity about how these things have to go that ends up burning us out. It ends up making us feel discouraged. Why? Because you don't know the plan of the universe. You don't know the plan of the God within you. All you need to do is simply ask that entity, ask that inner self, that higher self, if you were the one in control right now, what would you do? And then recognize yourself to be that. And then practice these things. Because listen, if you ask yourself this question, you're going to receive an answer. Oftentimes the answer is brutal. Oftentimes the answer doesn't make sense. Oftentimes, if you just, try to fit that answer into the 3D realm of what's going on, it won't work. You have to go the extra mile. You have to have faith and live presently as if you already have achieved. Listen, you guys, there is nothing you need else but to practice what I just told you consistently. If you can apply this every single day, your life will change. If you are somebody who's watched this video and you applied it and you got some lessons and things happen, I want you to comment below how this principle has helped save your life. And if you want to work with me personally to help with our weekly group inside our program, True Diamond Mindset, where we help you not only manifest your dream life, but build out higher level strategies on building a personal brand, then you can book a call below. But peace, love, prosperity, keep carrying on, keep spreading light. You are already free.